In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how I use the Keepa Data Product Finder to find over 20 wholesale suppliers or brands that we can reach out to on a daily basis, and how I train my team to do this as well. And so what's really key about this is utilizing the data from Keepa that allows us to hone in on ASINs or products that give us the highest likelihood of being able to open a wholesale account. Now, it's not guaranteed, but we're trying to use specific data points that point us to ASINs that look like they are possible wholesale accounts. In some cases, they're going to be arbitrage opportunities. In some cases, you won't be able to open that wholesale account, but we're trying to find at least 20 per day. The reason why we want to find 20 per day is because we need a high amount of brands to reach out to. Now, I recently did a video, which you can check out. It'll be linked after this one. You can check that out on how to write the best cold emails to those brands so you have a higher likelihood of being able to get an account. But let's go ahead and get into the Keepa Data Product Finder and how you can start finding at least 20 different suppliers per day with multiple different opportunities. So let me go ahead and bring up my screen here. As you can see, I have keepa.com opened up. All you have to do is select data and then go to product finder. Now, I've already put in a filter here that I wanted to just kind of show as a quick example, just so you don't have to watch me input all this information. I'll probably go back and tweak it from time to time, and I'll show you the active filters, and then I'll show you where we can find those. But I put in a sales rank with a maximum of 500,000. That was just to make sure that it at least has had some sales recently. It's not guaranteed that you're going to find great products with it, but we just want more opportunities that we can utilize. The next thing I did was put a buy box of $50 as the maximum as well. And so you can change that for whatever your parameters are. Maybe you want to put between 20 to 50 or 20 to 75 because that's the pricing that you're looking for. This may pull back some items that have a $5 price and we don't want to buy those. But again, I wanted to keep this as open as we could so we could use it to find more options and opportunities. I did put that Amazon was out of stock because I don't want to compete with them if they're currently on the listing. And I'll show you another filter that I did that will also kind of kick them out for the most part. I just chose a random category of home and kitchen. And then I put a 3 as a minimum for our new offer count. So we're going to have current at 3 minimum. And then the 30-day average, 90 and 180 days, I did between 3 to 10 for the amount of total sellers on this listing on average. Now, the next thing that I did, because I wanted to find opportunities that weren't just drop shipping opportunities. You know, there are people, sellers that try to drop ship on Amazon. In many cases, it's not allowed, but you can do it with the right suppliers, according to Amazon's terms of service as of today. But ultimately, I wanted to find things that I could buy and send into Amazon. And so I know if there are other FBA sellers on the listing that they have most likely either opened a wholesale account or they have found an arbitrage opportunity. And I'm fine with both, honestly. So looking at new third-party FBA sellers at 3 or higher. Again, we are capping the average at 10. So we won't have a ton of sellers on these listings, but we have 3 as a minimum for FBA sellers. Now you can put 2. Sometimes with 1, you'll find a lot of wholesale accounts that are exclusive, even with these minimums here, because there again are going to be drop shippers or FBM sellers that are listing on the listings. So I like to see if there's 2 or 3 or higher for FBA sellers as a minimum, but you can play with this as you want. I did put buy box was FBA, so I know I'm not competing with a drop shipper doing FBM or some other FBM seller. And then I, in this case, put no variations. Now I'm happy to sell it on a variation listing, but for the purposes of this demonstration, I did no variations. And then the 90 days out of stock percentage with Amazon, I put at a 90 as a minimum. This means that Amazon over the last 90 days has been out of stock on this product at least 90% of the time. And most of the time, you're going to find that they're out of stock 100% of the time and they never list on it. But I do want to see items where Amazon is basically never here. You could put it at above 60 if you wanted. That's what a lot of people use, above 50, anytime that Amazon is typically more out of stock than in stock, but I put 90 for this example. And then I also, to kind of hone down the list and find the fastest moving products, I put bought in the past month of 50. So it kind of negates this sales rank of 500,000. I could probably get rid of that and just have the bought in the past month of 50. This is the lowest number that you can put in the from field because that's where Amazon starts to track it. There's some limitations with this because Amazon doesn't track that for all the products, and there may be some mistakes there that Amazon doesn't report it. But ultimately, I just wanted to do it for this demonstration. You don't have to follow this to the letter or to the T, but that's where I did it. And so you can follow those if you just want to see the same results that I'll be getting here. We have 1,851 products that meet those criteria. I'm going to click on find products here. You can see Wettex is a brand. I've never heard of this, for the Swedish dishcloth for kitchen. You can see Imarku is a chef knife. A couple of these different brands I've never heard of. Most likely you've heard of Pyrex. That's a huge brand. Some people are able to get wholesale accounts or buy it from an arbitrage opportunity. But let's just take a look at Wettex here, or Wettex, however you say it. Ultimately, we can see that the pricing is fairly stable. Take a look at the last year. It's been fairly stable the last 3 months at this $8 price point. It's probably lower than what we would like to buy it at or sell it at. It has quite quite a few amount of sellers, over seven or eight, and it keeps kind of varying from there. And you can see it actually sells 4, 5, 3,000 times a month, depending on which month we're looking at. So to me, this looks like a potential opportunity. And this isn't necessarily, hey, we're going to go and get this wholesale account and we're going to make a lot of money from it, right? This is doing more digging into potential opportunities for data harvesting almost, where we're finding other sellers that have also opened wholesale accounts or have been able to find these products in the past. So let's first go check out this brand for Wetex here. And I don't know if there's anything else on Amazon. We could do some more searching, but let's look up Wetex Wholesale. Let's try that. You can see here wetexusa.com. And so if we click into that, we can see purchasing these dishcloths in bulk. So it looks like they are just selling wholesale. Learn about wholesale pricing. You could probably sign up for this fairly easily. This is where you can get a pricing request. Ultimately, it's probably not the best opportunity if you're looking for price stability, if it's an easy account to get. Now, I went to the FAQs for frequently asked questions. Doesn't seem like there would be any Amazon information here, that they don't allow any Amazon sellers or anything. So you could always reach out, contact them, open up a wholesale account, and learn about their wholesale pricing by doing this, and see if it is profitable at all, or look at their other products for their brand. If we actually wanted to do that, we go to data here. We would then scroll down to the actual brand, and we'll just open in a new tab. But you can see all of these different products. There's 41 here, and then you could actually go back into this advanced filter and change it out however you wanted to say, okay, Amazon is out of stock and that we want to see at least 3 sellers on the listing on average. And we could then, it brought it from 41 products down to 7, and we could just analyze those 7 products to see how well they sell and if they're profitable and all of that kind of stuff, right? You could actually hone in on this particular brand a little bit more. And this is great for arbitrage as well if you wanted to utilize that. But let's go back into this. So this is one way that we can use it, but another way that we can use it is then taking this listing, and we can say, and think about it. Let's zoom out for a minute. Let's think about the fact that there are at least 3 FBA sellers on this listing, and there is an option to open a wholesale account. So we assume, now we could be wrong, the sellers could be not very bright, but we assume that there's at least some profitability in those listings. But the other assumption we can make is that if a seller has opened a wholesale account with a brand, then that seller may also be opening more wholesale accounts with more brands. And so let's take a look at what we can do to then get more opportunities from these sellers, right? The storefront stalking competition analysis. Now, I like doing this with wholesale accounts because there's more barriers to entry to actually get that account. And if you're a good seller and you're able to work with them and sell yourself essentially to the brand, then they should be able to open up that wholesale account for you as long as they're allowing other sellers. Now, you could also try to get an exclusive arrangement with them if you wanted to and you had a good relationship, but ultimately that's a different discussion for a different day. So what you can do here is you can actually take a look at all of the data, all of the offers. And if we just want to see the prime sellers, the sellers that would be our main competition, we can select prime here. It defaults to 90 days right now on my graph. And there's only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sellers that are FBA that are on this listing currently. But we could also look at 365 days and see there's again going to just be 7. The reason is because they're showing us just the current offers. Now we could actually go and click on include historical offers. And now we can see that there should be many more FBA sellers here, right? So it went from 7 to a lot more. All right. And so that is a huge factor because now we have more sellers that then we can try to do some competition analysis and storefront stalking for. You can actually download this information and export it and get the seller IDs and put those into Keepa. Let me show you how you can do that really quick. If I go to the product finder, I'm just going to take one of these seller IDs. This one has quite a lot sold. But let's just copy this. And you could then take all of the different seller IDs. There's ways to do it much faster. This video is not necessarily for that, but you could take this information, put it here, and then it'll pull back just the 6 products in this case that seller has in their storefront. And it seems to be those 6 Wetex products that we had talked about. But if you were to do that for all of these and input all of the different seller IDs, if I were to copy this one and go to the product finder and put this in here under seller, then we can see this particular store has 28, and we could go back and forth and do this one by one, or we can use the bulk method that I've taught on this channel in the past. But again, we are then just looking for different opportunities to pull up, because then we're trying to find other wholesale accounts, right? So we've got Wetex, we've got Viking On, we've got Geo Nordic, we've got Malmsteen AB, we've got this brand that I probably can't pronounce. Ultimately, there's more brands now that we can open up. And so this is how you can take just one quick search, right? We did just an easy search. We took then one brand, one product from Amazon that had the data that appears to be a wholesale type product. And then we were able to take the storefront stalking options to then put it into Keepa, find more brands that then we could potentially reach out to. But then we could come back here and continue going down this list and see if, well, maybe this Inmarku chef knife is an option. I typically like to avoid products that have lightning deals on there. Usually that means that there's a main seller or the brand is actually on here doing that. So I would probably avoid anything with lightning deals in my opinion. This one is Pyrex. If you can figure out a way to get a wholesale account with Pyrex, go ahead and do that. But ultimately this is just one way of doing that. Okay. I've never heard of this brand or this company. It looks like, again, it's selling for $487. One adjustment that I would want to make on this filter, going back here and putting in a minimum of a $15 buy box, and that brings us down to 874 products. I'm just going to also take out the sales rank because we're looking at items with 50 or more sales. And you can see whenever I took out the sales rank, there may actually be no sales rank, and it's selling more than 50 times per month because it jumped up from 800 or so products to 1,069. Let's click on find products now, and then we can see everything that comes through here. Now, obviously the Wet X item is gone because it was less than $15, but we can then take a look at some of these other items as well. This is cutlery. Let's go ahead and click into that. Got a pretty stable price point here, but a few sellers coming on and off the listing. This would be one that I'd probably look up. If we went over to here, let's just look up Rita Cutlery, see if there is opportunity to purchase from them. In USA Knife Company, Rita Knives. More than likely, this brand may have some difficulty in getting an account, but I may be wrong. So you can actually order here, request the catalog, see if they have any information on wholesale down here. Does not look like it. So I would contact them, see if I could open up an account to see if there was any profitability there. Email, call them, whatever you want. Again, I've covered all that wholesale stuff on this channel before. But again, we can then take this, go to data, take a look at the offers, and we can see with all the different sellers that are on here, how we can open up potential other wholesale accounts. There's a lot of Prime sellers on here. Let me click just Prime. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's look in the last 365 days and let's include historical. If we do that, there's way more Prime sellers. Now these could be arbitrage opportunities. These could also be wholesale account opportunities. So great ways to find at least 20 different brands. And this is just in the home and kitchen niche. Can you imagine if you were to take these basic filters or even expand the filters into multiple different options and then apply that to arts and crafts, office products, pet supplies, grocery, all those different things? There's a seemingly unlimited amount of wholesale suppliers out there, potential brands for wholesale on Amazon. So let me know your thoughts of this in the comments. By the way, if you're somebody that's selling over $5,000 per month on Amazon or Walmart, eBay, etc., and you're looking for systems and procedures to grow and scale your business, I recommend checking out my Business Building Legends community at askjimmysmith.com/legends. Now that is a sales page. If you're interested in applying to join, please do so. We have over 100 standard operating procedures, tons of training, a great community. We've been around for years at this point and have seen so many different success stories. And so I love being able to pour into sellers' lives that way. And if you're somebody under 5K per month, check out the free training that I have. I do tons of free training on YouTube. I have a free 30-day training at my website at askjimmysmith.com/free training. That should help you to get over that 5K per month amount if you apply it and you do it consistently. And so I'm excited to be able to help you in any way that I can. Post your questions down below. I hope you have a great rest of your day and a blessed rest of your week.